Greetings, beautiful ones, and welcome. This is Nazan in Marashian, Love and Heart, Art, deep dive into tools for empowerment and healing. In this contemplation, I want to bring together some of the big themes that have been running through my life at the moment, and what I intuit as the things that are also in tune with the collective as well. So much of our lives now, post the pandemic, has given us the opportunity to discard all the masks and sit with what is at the core, or what is the fundamental foundation for how we want to live our lives. One of the big themes for me is to investigate how I can truly be in my authenticity, be in my integrity. How can I bring myself more into alignment with what I project out into the world and what is going on within me internally, so that there is harmony with the inner and the outer worlds. And this is all part of creation. When I think about myself and how I live and how I think about my life, well, that then creates my reality. It's not outside of me. But how can I marry them is something that I've been thinking a lot about. And it's something we all are going through as a collective. This is the awakening into the constructs, into the ways of being at the moment. And depending on which narrative you want to tap into, then that becomes your core driving principle for life and living. So we're waking up to deliberate creation, I feel. And it's been really interesting looking at the macro view and then bringing it into the micro, into the lens of the everyday lived experience of me as an individual walking this walk and navigating those aspects and those spaces between that grandiose vision of what my life wants to be and then what it currently is, and how to bring myself into that greater alignment with that vision. All right, let me unpack this a little bit. What I've noticed in my workplace at the moment, that there is a lot of unhappy people for whatever reason. And as the law of energy works, there is an expansion of whatever it is that we're thinking and feeling out into the field. And that's a field that we can all tap into. So when there is this collective unhappiness or this collective disappointment or collective culture of complaining, it expands. It's like this blob that consumes everything. And I'm noticing myself and how I am really ready to bounce into my workplace with as much joy as I can every morning, feeling happy that another day's lived and begun, and excited for what transactions and what experiences are yet to be. And despite the negativity around me, I was really feeling such a high level of joy today. And there was this symphony of kookaburras going off, laughing, which made me even more joyful. And when you are standing on a periphery looking in, and you can then see with that perspective how one person can influence a collective, and how then that collective can ripple out and change a culture and change an outcome. If there is even just one person laughing, that impact is exponential. As it is, if there is just that one person frowning, that impact is exponential. And that really made me reflect on my own journey into aligning myself with my integrity. I often say this and say it to myself when I feel squeezed is that if you can't do what you love, if you can't yet do what lights you up, then start loving what you are doing and bring love into every aspect of your life and your work and your interactions. And by doing that, that removes the suffering, because every moment is that moment and then it no longer is that. So choosing love, choosing joy, choosing laughter then shifts everything else and then aligns me and you and everybody else to that life, doing what you love. The way I think about it is, I may only have this day. And from the moment I open my eyes to the moment I close them, I am making choices and about how I feel and respond to what's going on. And if I'm making those choices with the lens of love and moving with the speed of love, then that's a really good day, even when things are a bit wobbly. And to me, that is a really great way of stepping into reframing one's experience and reclaiming the power of choice. And that's been a really great motivator into clarifying, well, what is the dream? What is it that I'm dreaming into being? And when I take myself out of the story or the particulars of what is in front of me and rather tune into the energetics, tune into the opportunities, tune into the interactions, I realize I am exactly where I'm supposed to be because I'm loving it and what I am doing. And soon enough, I will be doing what I love because that is the vibration that I'm carrying into the everyday. And the bits that are harder to love about what I do in my day job it's really about the mundane things. And when you bring yourself into presence in the mundane, as I've already spoken about, this then removes suffering. And so every then particle of my being has an opportunity to sing. And to me, that is the definition of being in my integrity. Sometimes in this field of self-development, empowerment, healing space, there is a framework for what one thinks life should look like or what one should be doing. And the thing is, what I'm realizing more and more, wherever I am is an opportunity for self-development, empowering, healing, expanding, sharing. So long as I'm light about it, like the kookaburras reminded me today, finding things to smile about. So that as I'm navigating these spaces where there are so many unhappy people because they're maybe feeling stuck or stuck in the mundane, too far forward, too far back in the past, too far forward in the future, that's out of alignment with integrity. And this season of autumn that we're moving into here in Australia in the Southern Hemisphere is an invitation to shed and allowing this autumn season to bring you into greater alignment with what is working and what feels good and in tune with our purpose of being and loving, and then shedding the rest, letting go of complaining, letting go of negative thought loops, letting go of victimhood, letting go of frustration, and really releasing all that no longer serves and becoming lighter. And then from there, make a an inspired action to change direction. And becoming more discerning. As I gain more and more wisdom from my own lived experiences, I am learning what battles to choose and when to just walk away. And don't get me wrong, I am a very caring, empathetic person. Yet I have learnt that by being more discerning about where my energy goes and having loving boundaries, it allows me to care a little bit less. Caring a little bit less means that if something is not exactly going how I thought it was going to go, instead of stressing about it, I just live the moment and go, okay, well, it is this now. And how can I show up and be present with what is in front of me? And I know for myself personally, it's hard to live in uncertainty, in this flux and change. We have lived in this illusion of the continuity of life, the predictability of life, and it's like the collective curtain has been raised to show us all that the only thing that is certain is change. The only thing that is predictable is unpredictability. And being adaptive to that is the measure of a successful life. Being adaptive to the ebb and the flow of the tide of life is what creates that smooth transition in change and then removes suffering. And of course, it can be difficult to be there when you have more than yourself to be responsible for. So if you have children or you're a caretaker of some sort, you have other people you are responsible for. Being in that continual flux, in that limbo, can be reframed as actually being in a magical space, that liminal space, the unknown of the feminine principle, the divine feminine power, that deep trust and surrender that in each moment you just got to show up and work with what is there in front of you. Rather than pushing or being attached to an outcome, choose your battle, which of course is easier said than done and is one of my life's work's challenges, but it's also very empowering and healing. Because it is in the letting go of the outcome, that letting go of the story, that letting go of the construct of how something should be or could be, and rather being present with what it is and enjoying it. Because you being in the moment, and when there are challenges and difficulties, and knowing that it is also just a moment, and that challenge or difficulty is arising as a catalyst for change, as a catalyst to move us along and think about something differently. And I have been living this in these last couple of months, years, but particularly months. Huge catalyst for change. And I feel like we are at this juncture collectively where every system that we have ever known is now breaking, imploding, collapsing, needing to be reshuffled and rethought about, needing innovation, an upgrade into a new way of being. A new way of being that is more alignment with the future present, right? So whatever you were doing now is setting up for what's to come. And everything that is happening is in the service of this change to activate. And I feel that actually this is a very exciting place to be. Yes, of course, scary, unsettling, but that potential and potency for creating something new and innovative and letting go of the things that aren't working is this incredible opportunity for expansion into a higher level of freedom and humanness, a higher level of consciousness. Well, that's been my contemplation in moving into greater integrity and walking the path of my integrity on a daily basis, checking in with myself and asking, are my thoughts and actions in alignment? And if they are not, then how to bring that discord into coherence. Because that is where manifestation is. That is the point of harmony and unity within. Well, this has been the major theme at the moment. So much gratitude to you all for listening. If you want to know more about my offerings, I've got lots of things coming up. You can get in touch with me through my website, nazaninmarashian.com, or through Instagram at nazaninmarashian. And sending you all so much love and strength on your journey. No, it only takes one smile, one person to share their light, and it ripples out exponentially. So be that one. This is Naza Marashian. Love and heart, art.